Blast off.
We might, oops, there we go. We might be live, I think.
We might be. We've never done this before. Help us out.
Yeah, a couple times. Steve and I are new to live streaming.
Man, my audio kept going out yesterday during my stream.
So how long did you stream yesterday?
I want to say it was 2 hours. Let me check. 2 hours, 28 minutes, 20 seconds. 3 radios.
I covered all of the Stone Mountain Ham Fest on foot with Rockstar Dave, and we had a good time. It was mostly me hanging out, honestly, because I think I bought $10 worth of used connectors, adapters, and I bought 5 18-inch network patch cords. That's all I bought. I pondered Kenwood TS 480 HX, but then I decided not to buy it because I don't need yet another HF radio at this point.
So they have I'm probably going to get this wrong. There's the 480 HX and there's the 480 SAT. The SAT is the one that's got the built-in auto tuner. What does the HX features have?
Without deep, I mean, I looked it up yesterday, but it's a 200 watt radio. It's the basic thing, and it's HF only.
Okay, so that's what it is. That's what I thought. HX was the 200 watt radio. SAT is the 100 watt with the tuner, I think.
Yeah, with the tuner, and I would say is that a satellite radio too? So it's going to have VHF and UHF in that?
I don't know the answer to that, but I think the SAT isn't satellite. I think it's something auto tuner.
Oh, okay. I just assumed when it was SAT.
Because I think super auto tuner. I don't know.
I think Boston Johnny's got, I'm flexing my D74 and the wood paneling. Look, the clock is even right. I pointed it with the correct hand. That's amazing. Right? See?
He's on top of his game today.
We are on it today, people. We're on it today. I looked at it because it was in really good looking shape, and Dave and I walked by it and I looked at it and I asked the guy, and it's the gray-haired guy, skinny, tallish, gray-haired guy that is at every Hamfest selling tables full of used equipment.
Long, flowing gray hair.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah. Doesn't ever want to dicker on price.
No,
ever. And nope. This thing that I've carried around to 92 Hamfest before you is still $200.
I know,
didn't sell 92 times. It's still not going to sell, and I'm still not going to lower my price.
I know.
Not one bit.
But he's at every Hamfest, and I'm sure the guy's making money because God knows I wouldn't want to schlep and unpack and repack all that crap that he totes around. So I'm guessing he's single, and this is his whole gig is driving around reselling
with that hair.
gear.
Of course he's single. Are you kidding me?
Right.
You can tell the old single dudes because they just let everything go, and you can tell the older unmarried females because they don't.
Right. Yeah.
Notice I said the exact same thing about both sexes. Keep your panties on.
Right.
Then I just ruined it all.
Yeah, you did. Ladies, I apologize for my co-host. He's somewhat of a man pig at times.
I said older single ladies keep themselves attractive and fit, and older single men keep themselves attractive and fit. I just said it in a funny way.
Yeah, okay.
We can go to the replay.
The chat is rolling this morning. Let's see.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Suspenders too. Yeah, because when men get a little older, they start to lose their butt. All the weight in their butt goes to the front.
Yep.
And then, the hairline also does the same thing. All that starts to, go down to where the suspenders are trying to pull it back up to your forehead.
Right. I reused my title this morning. You are correct. Yesterday was a long day. LC's called me out on it.
Right.
Yesterday was a long day, and I got home, and I honestly took a 2.5 hour nap because I was up at like 3 o'clock yesterday morning because I couldn't sleep in different time zone. And I'm driving home and I'm like, I don't remember, the hour between the outskirts of Atlanta and hitting Auburn, Alabama. And I'm like, whoa, I need to be home and asleep. But so I just kind of phoned it in for the YouTube posting part. But I had a good time. The Stone Mountain Ham Fest is really pretty decent. It's got more than the C tier vendors in it.
Getting up to B grade? Nice.
I there was B tier. And James, I love you, but like World Radio League was there. Of course, he lives like, an hour away at most.
No excuse, yeah.
But it was more than the old people selling, dream catchers and goofy crap like that. There was like real vendors there. And then the swap area, there was swaps in the building, in one of the buildings where they had the heat on. Oh my God. And then the open.
Because you were too hot.
Well, we'd been outside. It was like 35 or 40 degrees yesterday morning when that show opened, because it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it was barely daylight when the show opens. And it was pretty chilly out there. And so we're walking around and, out, it's like Orlando. If you've ever been to Orlando, it's just a large area. Pull your truck, trailer, car, whatever in, set up your stuff. There's not marked spaces like there is at Dayton. And it's a large area. And so we're wandering around through all that. And then we go inside. And of course, we go from 40 degrees to 85 degrees, I think. But it's a decent show. They have a lot of good events. It's way better than Montgomery's show. Way better. Montgomery's Hamfest takes 20 minutes and we're through it because it's so small. Montgomery's has really, really shrunk. But it was nice. And it's a little bit of a further drive than Huntsville for me, but not much. I mean, maybe 20 or 30 minutes farther, but.
Right. Is that a big orange coffee cup behind you? Or are you that much in need of caffeine after getting an extra hour of sleep?
No, that's a crap bin for plastic bits off of printers that I carried back here
poop
after
bin, specifically? Huh? It's a specifically poop bin?
Yeah, sure. Detritus. I don't know how to pronounce that word.
I say detritus. Let's call the whole thing off.
Yeah, seems legit. So anyway, yeah, it was a good show. Let's see. There was Elodie's here. Good morning.
Elodie, did I offend you?
He might have.
I'm sorry if I did.
He's a man pig. Let's see.
Not as bad as talking about how hot old female actresses are. That's your thing.
Beautiful. She's beautiful. And don't talk about Jane Seymour like that.
I didn't say she was ugly.
I think she's a lady, like a Lady Jane, I think. I'm not sure. Andy Cowley's here representing the UK, while Elodie's over on that side of the pond, too. There's Dave, Frequency Frontiers. Pilot Bill is up in the chat. Brother
morning,
John,
Jerry.
Kyle, I see a bunch of you. Jimmy, PRK Radio is here. I know, right? Apparently, T.O. was going to highlight the same one I was fixing to. Or else I double-clicked it. I'm not sure which.
No, I was going to celebrate Jerry.
Well, I was getting to all those. Jerry, thank you very much for being a member. Appreciate it. Good morning to North Carolina, sir. Let's see. Elodie has a confession to make. She bought the Yaesu 3165 ASP and the Baofeng UV5R Mini within about 48 hours.
Which one of them is better? I know one's a mobile, one's a handy, but still.
You can't. There's apples and kumquats. You can't really compare them.
I just thought about this. This is probably the only show you can mention the phrase handy, and I say phrase on purpose. Because, and get away with it. We all know we're talking about a handheld radio.
Right.
Nothing else.
Robert was at the Stone Mountain Hamfest. Robert, I didn't see you. I was hanging out in like as you come out of the main building with the real vendors. I was on the right side toward the end with Dave and Walt and a couple of their buddies. They had an awning set up, and I was on the end around one of the first streets out there. But I mean, it's spread out pretty good, so there's a lot to wander around and see.
You're going way back to the top of the chat. Let's.
I'm trying to catch up.
I'll talk about PRK again here. Passing the plate. Thank you, Jim and T.O. Best way to start my Sunday. Agreed. Cup of coffee. Happy radio talk. Maybe some mutual complaining about bad radios. That's what we do.
Or software.
Check out PRK Radio's channel.
Exactly.
You get to hear the same stuff from him, just with a different perspective.
Chris has been a member for 7 months, getting ready for the Lions game. I don't even watch the NFL anymore. I haven't watched the NFL in forever, honestly. Let's see.
If we want to watch men fight, this is the place to be.
Right.
Ham Radio YouTube space.
Okay, there's Jimmy's super chat.
I've had people come in my comment section and complain, and I'm like, "You're right," and then they keep complaining. I'm like, "You're still right. I'm still not arguing with you." Yep.
Eric, the D75 for less than 600.
Wow.
That is a good deal. Speaking of radios, Rockstar Dave showed me yesterday. He just had to tell me about it. He told everybody he saw about it and rubbed salt in the wound. He picked up not a D75, the VGC N76.
Is the handy?
Yes.
He got himself a handy.
He got himself for $50, new in the box.
That's a deal right there.
Still had the screen protector thingy on it. I mean, I'm like,
yeah, I want to say they're 160 brand
new.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Gray Man has been a member for 1 month, and right, I think he can get away with it, so we are.
That's handies with an IE, folks.
Right.
Not handies with a Y. That's something totally different.
Right.
But apparently Eric got one of those. Congratulations, Eric.
Lee is looking for a 310.
And then Nate.
It scrolled right when I clicked.
Yeah, it does that every single time.
I know.
Nate, thank you very much. Why, YouTube doesn't know how to count the months. He's been a member for 3 months, and yes, that is true. YouTube doesn't know how to count the months. Sometimes they'll drop you out. Like I know Andy Cowley, as an example, has been a member of my channel since before it was birthed, but it's not giving him proper credit. But he's there in my heart. Thank you, Andy.
Let's see. Doc Brad has a good comment. I want to come back to that. I want to make sure I'm caught up. Yes. Okay. I haven't looked, but Doc's saying the MTC has a ton of 7300s for sale.
Yep.
I have a couple of thoughts on that. If you're looking for an HF radio, buy 7300. You will not be sad. You won't.
This is hilarious. The irony of the 7300 destroying the used ham radio market when it was first created, and the 7300 being the destruction of the ham radio market used again.
Yeah, I mean, if Don's in here, he's going to drop a comment about the OVF light. And he will. And he may or may not be 100% correct. It's Don. But, I mean, it's a good radio. It's got a decent screen. I mean, it works. And if you can get a deal on it, I wouldn't pay more than $700 for one at this point. I'd feel better about paying $600 for one, but it's a nice radio.
Yeah, I let mine go maybe 3 years ago when I thought they were going to come out with a new version, because they were way past time 3 years ago, and now they're way past time 3 years later.
Yeah, true. Jody has been a member for 7 months. How many dog years? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Eric got a good deal. He's going to sell his G90. And Gray Man, I totally agree with you.
Tell Don to use his radio appropriately.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to talk to Don?
But it's not a bad radio at all. And if you're new into HF, or looking for a second radio, or looking for a mobile radio, it's not huge. It's
They're asking
not
about
a bad
the
size.
price. I want to say the price on the new 7300 Mark II was somewhere around $1,400. I'm double checking my
That
sources.
seems what I remember seeing. $1,499.
Yeah, $1,499.95.
Yeah. $1,500. And somebody said this in one of our streams. I think it was this one, and I don't know. This is some amount of speculation. Are the upgrades to the Mark II significantly better than the original 7300? And I know we're going to say, yes, it has a video out. Okay.
And it's HDMI too.
Right. Don would hate that, by the way, because, you know, DisplayPort or death for Don.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested to see. I've read a little bit or seen something about it, but I don't think there's a tremendous amount of major differences between the Mark I and the Mark II.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Well, so I'm coming from the land of smartphone technology, where smartphones have killed ham radio for the majority of users in the first place, but they come out with new technology, like substantially new things every 2 years, not just, you know, like a washed over version of the older thing. I mean, the 9700 had the Ethernet port in it when it came out, brand new. And now the 7300 Mark II finally has that old Ethernet port in it. And I don't think the Mark II has Wi-Fi, does it?
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't they take the Wi-Fi that they have already programmed into the 705?
705. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's less than $3.
Jody's saying less power consumption on receive.
Nice.
So
now it's portable.
Yeah. Tim, you're probably right. I mean, the network connectivity in that class of radio, which honestly, I feel it should have had a long time ago, but software overcame a lot of that. Now, straight network will be better than using the USB cable. I'm thinking of the Mac SDR control program, because they did add in support for the 7300 via USB. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so in terms of ham radio, it's got advancements in it, but in terms of, you know, 2025 technology, I'm still waiting for more. It does have Wi-Fi. Awesome. Thank you, Andy.
Andy Cowley said it has Wi-Fi. So
Andy would know.
Dave, I knew they had gone up a fair amount. I bought mine used and have sold it in the last month, but yeah, it was not $2,000 when I got it. I don't think it was $2,000 new, but I've had it for a couple years. It's a good radio. The other thing that is interesting in the radio world this morning, and I guess I should find the webpage and we could share the webpage, but so I upgraded my Flex software to 4.01, the new version, major version change. And, you know, Flex has got this new scheme where I'm trying to make that comment go away, comment. Flex has got this new scheme where if you pay a fee, you'll get new features. You'll still get bug fixes for free, but you'll get new features as they release new and cool, improved features in Smart SDR software. Now, the introductory price at this time until the end of the month is $149. And you will get all the features that they release within that year time frame from whenever you do the upgrade, and you do it through Smart SDR software. But what I was looking at this morning, well, actually, before I get to that, the other option is the Smart SDR Plus or whatever they call it, where you pay $300 and you get 30-day early releases of the new features. So you get the new features, but if you're in the premium tier, whatever the hell you want to call it, you get the new features 30 days before the plebes who are in the median tier. The people who don't pay that fee don't get any new features. They just get bug fixes in the major version that they're on. Now, the upside to this whole thing is that if I pay the fee, I pay it today, I'm going to get all the new features for my radio in the next year. And then if next year I decide I don't want to pay it, I don't have to, but I still keep the features I got. So it's not exactly a subscription. It's you're going to get new features because you paid us extra money. Them poor plebes who didn't ain't going to get nothing. And what is interesting about it, and a little skeevy, I feel. I was looking this morning on Flex's website because I did my upgrade this morning. And maybe T.O. can find it. But there's a chart that shows the differences between Smart SDR middle grade, and Smart SDR super premium elite grade. And the other thing I noticed in this chart was a lot of the cool features are not on the 6000 series radios. So even if you pay the $200 fee, and it's $149 introductory price, it's going up to $199 at the end of the month for the mid grade. The premium grade is $299, $249, $299, something like that. But a lot of the new features that they're talking about with the paid upgrade to your radio, and it's basically just a software unlock kind of thing. A lot of those features do not translate to the 6000 series radios. They're only available on the 8000 series radios. So if you are a Flex owner and considering doing that, I would look very carefully at that chart before I send them $200, because you may be sad after you pay $200 and you don't get that feature because you have a ghetto 6600. That's the part that I thought was a little skeevy, you know?
I don't know that I'm finding it, but we'll take a look and see if this is it.
Jody, thank you for the $5 Canadian super chat. That's it.
Is that
That's
the
the exact
Okay.
chart. Yep. Can you plus it up a little bit?
No, I have no idea how to do that.
Excuse me. May you plus that up?
Thank you, Jody.
Will you plus that up?
Oh,
Jody.
really? Did you just ungrammar yourself?
Can you plus that up was exactly correct.
You're the one that corrected yourself. I didn't say a word. I was correcting your correction.
Well, right now, so Bill has a good question. Bill, what 6000 series, when they blow through stock, that radio reaches end of life?
Right.
I don't know, Bill. I'm just saying, if we look at the chart, let's embiggen the chart all the way.
All the red X's are in the 60s, in the 6000 series is.
Yes. So, for example, AI noise reduction, not happening on the 6000 series. Look at the third row from the bottom. Let's see what else. What's above that?
Why would that not happen in software?
Right?
They just don't want to.
Spectral subtraction with voice detection, not happening in the 6000 series.
This stuff sounds like computer software enhancements, not radio hardware enhancements.
Well, it is. I mean, it basically is, because to get the upgrade, regardless of which hardware platform you're on, you click a button, they charge your credit card, and then suddenly your version of Smart SDR does the things. Now, I assume there's a software key in the radio it updates or something, but I don't know. Noise floor scaling allows the noise floor location to be displayed visually, not on the 6000.
Right, but again, that's a PC software thing, not a radio hardware thing.
Right?
Or at least I could do it with enough paycheck to do it in software versus radio hardware. I mean, fine, they can do whatever they want to do. I'm not complaining about it. I kind of am, but I
am.
I don't see why you can't do this in the software with any radio. Like, I could get a RTL SDR and plug it into an IF tap on an older radio and do this.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, the features that I'm looking at that would be worth spending $200 on, this is telling me they're not going to work on my radio, regardless of whether I pay for the super elite version or the ghetto version.
Right. So why pay for it?
Well, that's kind of where I'm going at this point. I mean,
seems like the writing's on the wall, Jim.
Yeah. I mean, I want to study on this list and read what these features actually do, but I don't know that I see a compelling reason for me to pay for that upgrade.
Right.
At all. And you know, you guys, your mileage may vary, but I don't know. But yeah, Eric, I thought of you specifically when I read that. A voice keyer, yes, finally. But you got to pay for that. The good side is you're not renting it. You get to buy it. But
I'm with Hamman CT. Sell it and be done with it. Jim's Flex is up for sale. I'm saying it now. You muted.
yes,
Say it again.
my Flex is pretty much up for sale. As a package, the tuner, the amp, the radio. I mean, it works fine. I don't hate it. I just don't use it enough.
It's time for new blood. That's what I do. I sell radios because I need to make space in my tiny little ham shack, and then I also need to, get new radios in to play with.
Right.
John is saying he wants a raffle. John, if you were willing to go through all the government BS red tape to set up a raffle, and then go through all the YouTube BS red tape to set up a raffle, we'll be happy to have a raffle.
Ed is saying, and Ed, I kind of figured this might be part of it. Some of the upgrades need the 8000's upgraded CPU that the 6000 series doesn't have. So it is what it is. It don't make me happy. I mean, if that's their reasoning, then I understand, but kind of sucks. I mean, my radio, I don't know when they came out with the 6600, but I've only had it for a couple 3 years at most.
Yeah.
Hamman, it's a revenue stream for him, is what it is. Bill said he's upgraded already. New functions that haven't been paid for have a lock symbol over them. Yeah, I upgraded the software. I installed the new version this morning. I made like 3 FT8 contacts, and then I had other stuff to do before the show started. So, let's see. Elodie's asking when I'm going to upgrade the Flex. No, I'm not getting a new Flex. I may or may not sell this one
for the new user. Yeah.
Yeah, I may or may not sell this one, but I'm not going to buy another one after this. And again, it works fine. There's nothing wrong with the radio. It's a beautiful radio. It radios fine. It's just more radio than I find myself using on a regular basis. Honestly, and this is the 6600 with GPS and the unlocked bandwidth thingy. I want to say we can call that a Mars mod. Like I think I can transmit on 11 meters, for example.
Ooh.
But I'm just not using it. And I've got 2 spectral capture units. I have never used that feature. I played with it for 30 minutes one day and went, oh my God, this is more confusing than I can handle. I'm too old for this.
2 OM for spectral capture.
Well, for multiple spectral capture, yes. But I don't know. An Aurora might be an interesting choice. I don't know where it falls on that chart in upgradability, but that's the one with the built-in 500-watt amplifier, which is kind of a cool idea.
It wasn't even on the list of things that the software will support.
Was it not on the list at all?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
Because it stopped at the 8800 model.
And, right, he does. Well, and I mean, I managed to wave off buying another radio yesterday, which I'm proud of myself for that.
I have gone through multiple major ham fests and come home empty-handed. It was hard, but I did it.
Yeah.
I have radios sitting here that I haven't touched, haven't even turned on.
Eric, you make a very good point there. 3.x has been the current software since I've had a Flex, the 6300, and then the 6600, and it's been 3 or 4 years now. And I cannot, off the top of my head, think of one feature that was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Now, these new features look pretty interesting, but apparently I'm not going to be able to get them because of reasons, whatever they are, hardware reasons, software reasons.
I think that they probably would have done better if they would have said $50 for the add-on module, one-time fee, and you paid for that extra feature that you got with that $50. People would be a lot happier. But $200 a year, they're starting to question, like, what am I actually getting for this? Why are they doing this? Like, it's a business model that makes you question the business, as
Yeah.
opposed to, like BMW did it with their cars. You buy the car, it has the hardware in it for the heated seats, but you need the heated seat subscription in order to activate the heated seats in the car that are already there, and you can't use them without the subscription.
Right.
No,
That
not
is
not happening.
terrible business model. 4.5. I'm like T.O. I'm not like T.O. I'm better looking than T.O. first of all, but I mean, a lot of these radios only temporarily live here. It's like a Ponzi
It's a halfway
scheme.
house. Yeah.
It's like a Ponzi scheme with radios. I buy this one, I play with it, I decide I find something shinier, and I move it along. I don't know how many
He tried that with
radios I've
wives, and
had.
it didn't work. Radios is a lot cheaper and easier.
Yeah, it is. It is. The second one I had to keep. But she's also not crazy, so there's a plus right there. So I have an interesting topic that Boston Johnny asked me.
Uh-oh.
But before we get into that, which could cause a ruckus in the chat, what's going on, Steve? How are you?
I am just churning through stuff, trying to get stuff out of the RV. I did that stream yesterday on the Redivis HD2 and found a whole bunch of out-of-box experience problems. The OOBE was lacking. I got them all fixed, but it's like it shouldn't be that way. And so, I mean, if I bought that radio and it didn't do the things that it didn't do, I would return it. And there's another radio that I just did the other day, the Redivis A3. It advertises itself as a 4-band radio on the box, a 5-band radio on the website, and when you get it, it's locked in transmit to only 1 band until you unlock it through a special unpublished key sequence.
Did you find that?
I did. I put it in the video, but like everybody's video on that radio was, man, this thing sucks. And I was like, man, this thing sucks. So when you see my video, it'll be the same way. But I've got all the solutions in there too. And, a lot of people did have solutions also. But man, it was.
Did you make it better?
It was. What was it? It was 70 centimeters, 1.25, 2 meters, 6 meters, and 10 meters. FM, AM, sideband, CW, all in a 10-watt handy talkie, all in a handy.
There it is again.
And it seemed like it would be like, this is the best thing ever, but it's not.
Reached a little too far and missed the brass ring is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. But I was able to get it to work on CW. A lot of people couldn't get it to transmit CW, and maybe they just weren't trying it hard enough, easy enough. I don't know. But it did the CW thing for me. It was clunky because it's an HT. I didn't have a key to plug into it. I got it to transmit on all the different frequencies. It's probably unlocked to more frequencies after the unlock, but I didn't check it because it wasn't that great. It's a cheap radio. It's a DMR radio. No, it's not DMR. It's $90 for a 5-band radio. 5-band handy.
He just keeps doing it on purpose.
I am.
The thing is, out-of-box experience is something that always has been critical to me, because if the thing pisses me off right after I open the box, right, very likely it's going back to the manufacturer or to Amazon or wherever it came from. Because if you have to go through,
make that decision fast, 15 days or something, depending on the thing.
I thought Amazon was 30, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, I mean, if you can't figure it out, and we're all hams here, if I can't figure out how to drive a radio without reading the book,
right?
Man. Now there's a few exceptions, because that little thing is mostly because I can't see the damn buttons, but that guy's pretty complicated out of the box, especially if you want to fool with D-Star on top of just the FM functions. But Vern made an interesting point vis-a-vis the flex discussion, and I think I mentioned this, I'm not sure, but like my oscilloscope or my spectrum analyzer, you buy the base unit, it does a whole ton of stuff, but you have to pay to turn on those features on some of that for that stuff. Like my oscilloscope, which is a Regal 5074, it's sold as a 70 megahertz oscilloscope, but you can buy your way up to 350 megahertz of bandwidth. And then you can add on, there's other functions too, but just as an example. And that's kind of what I see Flex doing, that kind of thing. But, you know, the biggest thing is to make sure you understand that you actually are going to use that feature or get some value out of it.
Yeah.
So
this Redivus A3, for example, like how would you, in a handy talkie, how would you type in a frequency, given that it has a number pad on it?
I would hit the VM button or the VFO button, whatever you call it, and then I'd hit numbers. And then when that didn't work, it's like a USB cable. It's only got 2 positions, so I'd do it again and type a number again. And then because it's like a USB cable, I'd hit it a third time.
Yeah. So this one, you can't type the numbers directly. You have to put it into VFO mode. Then you have to hit the pound key. Then you have to type in the frequency. And it's not documented in the manual how to do it.
Oh, man.
I had to internet it.
That sucks. There's a question for you that starred. Hillbilly Ham, yes. The HRD
No,
has
that's got your name on it.
Well, I know it has my name on it, but I've never had a G90, so I can't help him.
I don't know why James is asking, because he knows the answer and he taught me. So, I mean, James is my Elmer.
I'm like, I got no G90 love. I don't know. HRD, yes. HRD has the same business plan, except it's, understand, I have paid for HRD and I have paid the annual fee for maintenance occasionally. And then I'm like, why the hell did I spend that money? Because the program hasn't really changed. And that was the comment that somebody else made too about, I think it was Eric, about 3.x has been out for years and there's not a whole lot of major changes to it. And certainly Ham Radio Deluxe, it looks the same now as it did 6 years ago when I paid for it the first time.
Yeah. Vern had the same experience. I actually think this Vern is taller than that Vern, and they're both pretty dang tall.
They're both tall.
Yeah. 2730 didn't have a bracket, and yeah, Jim had the same experience. Out-of-box experience was crap.
Yeah. Vern, I made a video on it, Vern. If you had made a video, I probably would have seen that and would never have bought that cursed radio. Because I was like, where the hell is what am I supposed to do with this? Now I got to order a bracket. Holy crap, ICOM. Is that thing made out of gold?
Well, I looked at a spare battery for the 705, and I want to say it was $130 for a battery for that radio. Or you can go on Amazon and get the same thing with a different sticker on it for $25, $30.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like they don't want us as customers.
We apparently opened up a can of trouble with
HRD.
With HRD, dark mode is now here. I mean, wow. And then yeah, I think they were at the Hamfest yesterday. I know they were at Huntsville demoing the beta version of their software, and for the life of me, just from looking at their demo, I can't tell a whole lot of difference. But how to ham exactly Velcro. You can always Velcro and duct tape, son. That will fix a whole world of problems. LC, I'm with you. I got brackets everywhere for multiple radios I've had. I'm not sure what the hell any of them are, but I could try that. I could go into the bin of brackets and find one probably.
It's more a matter of principle than anything else. If you sell a mobile radio, and in theory, the mobile radio's intended destination is a vehicle, it should have a mounting bracket. Whether you use it or not as the customer is up to you. But as the manufacturer, if I'm selling a desktop radio, it should have feet on it. If I'm selling a portable radio, it should have, a handle or a carrying case or something.
Freaking bracket. This is to a radio that is unreleased yet from our friends at Radioddity.
Is that why it's hidden in blue?
That's right. This is a prototype bracket.
You can't actually see it.
I talked to Sherry the other day, and she said I could release a short video to tease it. And I'm like, okay. Because I had emailed her and said, girl, what's the deal? You guys will love the radio. I've been playing with it, and we're going to give it away here at church one Sunday morning, assuming that y'all pass the plate occasionally and let us know that you're interested in continuing to watch this program. Yeah, so here's the bracket to it. It didn't get back in the box yet, but let's see. Yeah, Eric, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Their basic mounting bracket is a bent piece of metal, and it's heinously overpriced, egregiously
I mean, what is that
overpriced.
in production volume prices? I mean, how many of those radios do they make? I'm thinking it's going to be 50 cents or so.
Yeah, I would have said $1, but yeah, import
I mean, I'd
fees.
imagine they're going to make at least 6 digits of radios.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd say mid 6 digits, at least 500,000 of those.
And to not put in a bracket. And the whole thing, one of the selling points with the 2730 is that the head is remote. You can remote it.
It is only remote.
But, well, when you get it out of the box, yeah, technically, kind of.
There's no way to mount that either. Yeah.
You can't mount that. And that
like sticking
bracket,
a bar of soap on your dash.
Yeah, that bracket is about, how to ham, about $70. I was thinking it was for those radios. And I got to say, and you guys, I bought a Radiodity DB50. I bought it. It was not a review radio sent to me. And I installed it, and I put a video out about that this morning, but it came with a bracket. Excuse me. And I bought the remote head kit for it. It did not come with the remote kit, but it was also only a $20 remote kit, which is essentially a little stand, a longer cable, and, the piece to snap on the back of the head so it mates with the stand appropriately. And if I had, been seriously motivated, I could have maybe 3D printed one or rooted around and found something, but $20 didn't offend me too much.
Right.
$70 for a piece of plastic and a metal stand offends me. Yeah, so Jody, that's exactly right. Josh had these guys on last night, guy and gal. I don't know if that's a Lindy girl or a Lindy guy. I have no idea. But that software has been out of date, creaking. I mean, it's like a Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser from 1975 at this point. It gets you there, but man, it could use an update because it really, really is just elderly software. And my understanding, and I don't know the whole backstory, HRD used to be free, and then they stopped supporting the free version. This happened before my time, I think. And then these guys took it and made it into a commercial product kind of thing. And, I don't know. I never used the free version, so I don't know how much difference there is, what's been added since the free version. Now, I will say, like an Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, it is not a chick magnet, which means it ain't sexy. But sorry, Elodie, but I'm a pig too. But it does a lot of stuff. I mean, it's like it will drive satellite stuff for you, right? It will handle the Doppler shift. It has a satellite tracking software piece built into it. So you can download all the satellite data and look at live passes when they're coming up for specific satellites. It'll drive your rotator for you if you have an antenna with a rotator system on it. It will do logging. It integrates with WSJTX logging via the UDP function in WSJTX. It will log to, I know, QRZ and a couple others and maybe Logbook of the World. It does a lot of stuff, but it is butt ugly. I'm just going to say it. And Jimmy, PRK, is sticking with WRL. James is on fire with that software. I talked to him yesterday. I saw him there. And he's always making updates to WRL. Always. And very open to any suggestions you have. And he has said that. He said that on at least 1 or 2 ham radio shows he may or may not have ever been on 15 times. So, WRL is well worth your money. Absolutely well worth your money. And there's a discount code in the description below to World Radio League if you're interested. Just saying.
You got some housekeeping to do, Jimmy.
Yes, I do. So let's roll back. Woo. I'm sorry. I was flapping my jaws.
He was venting.
I
like
was.
A man who paid for something and then found out it was disappointing.
Right. Marvin Dreesen has dropped a $10 super chat. Thank you, brother Marvin. Appreciate it. Marvin, have you guys got snow yet up there? It's finally gotten cold down here. I mean, it was like in the 40s overnight the last week-ish.
I saw Wisconsin Shane's video where he had snow. I laughed.
Oh, my God. I don't miss that stuff. WC Custom Leather, Super Chat, $4.99. Thank you, brother. Going to do a POTA with a 10-meter, 500-watt export radio today. Wes.
That's the Corn Cob CB shop right there.
That is the Corn Cob CB shop. Look for me around 2 p.m. CST. I will. Weston, I absolutely will. Good luck, my brother. Doc, yes, back to that. Yes, it is very Windows 3.1. Brother Vern
Ham software
has dropped a $19.99 super chat. Thank you, Brother Vern. Appreciate it. Okay. I'm not really sure where he's going with all that.
ancient technology that's being retooled.
Yeah. ADHD, I did not talk to any of the vendors except James. I just didn't get to it. And for me, I go up Friday night, and then I want to get home at a reasonable time on Saturday, so I stay till about noon, and then I blast out. And I just never went in and talked to any of the vendors or anybody else. Let's see. When I had a house, I like snow. I like looking at snow, but I do not.
Snow is fantastic to visit.
To visit, yes. I like it when it snowed here last winter and our office was closed for 2.5 days. Yes. Free vacation.
Now, my ideal winter vacation would be to drive on clear, clean roads to a snowed-in cabin. Like when I get there, it snows overnight. I wake up Saturday morning with all of my supplies for the weekend totally barricaded in. And then by Sunday afternoon, when it's time to leave, all the snow is gone and all the roads are clear.
Yeah. Scott, I'm sure it's coming. Yeah, I got to plug in the boat heater today because it's been pushing the low 40s, high 30s. And I'm like, I got to get that done today. Oh, I'm not looking forward to cold weather. Let's see. So one last thing that I had. T.O., do you got anything you want to talk about? I know we got a cool show planned for tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night
on
is
your channel.
The Q&A. And it's the first Monday Q&A. So we need to see if there's any questions out there. And then we're going to have Ham Radio Hef on to do a net. So warm up your DMR and your All-Star and your YSF and everything else. And we're going to talk. You might even be able to ask your questions over Ham Radio.
Very cool. And Hef has software that he's developed.
Yeah, so it's going to be ham-made software by one of us.
And made in 2025, so I'm looking forward to seeing the interface on that.
He's got another toolbox out there where I don't know if I should tell people about this yet or not, but he's got the ability to see RF in augmented reality.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how useful it will be, but it's cool.
Super smart math whiz types. He just started talking math, and I was like, I don't know.
Oh, there's Brother John Gendron. John Luke has dropped up in the chat. Yeah, he's going to be on Nuggets tomorrow night. We're going to have him on. It's Q&A. I got to go vet the question list. If you haven't, why don't you drop a link to your question list in the chat while we're here?
Why don't I drop a link to the questions in the chat? That's a good idea.
If you have cues that you want us to A tomorrow night on Nuggets, you can get them in right now by going to that link that T.O.'s going to post and post your questions in there. because I need to
There
vet
it
it and
is.
clean out the old questions that are still in there.
Yes.
I'm on it today. Yesterday was a lost cause almost.
And we're going to have an announcement tomorrow during the show also. So now you can't miss it.
Right. Bricker, I suppose with the right chemistry, even anyone can smell radio waves and see sound. I don't know. So Boston Jonathan asked me a question this morning at, I don't know, 7:15 or 7:30. John, are you in the chat?
Yeah.
And I'm like, who the hell is texting me this? I was already up. Okay, so don't feel bad for texting me, John.
He had to pee.
Oh, gosh. I've been up since 4. I had to pee at 4, and I never went back to bed. So this was an interesting question. And off the top of my head, my first answer to John was, no, that ain't going to work. And then the more I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, you could maybe do that, and that might work. It's kind of a weird use case, but... So John wants to... And I can't keep up with everything he said. I'd have to read the exact text, which I could do, I suppose. He wants to cross-band repeat. This was his question. He wants to cross-band repeat APRS from somewhere to somewhere else. And I said, well, you can't cross-band APRS from VHF to VHF. That's not going to work. And APRS, as far as I know, is not set up to use a repeater.
Yeah.
You would have to digipeat. Well, he wants to get it so it can reach his eye gate or his radio can reach his eye gate or something like that, some situation like that. And we chatted about it a little bit. And I said, well, is there not, and I wanted to ask you and the chat, because you guys are at least as smart as we are, if not smarter most days, is there not a APRS UHF frequency?
There is.
Okay.
Nobody uses it, but there is.
Okay. Why could I not cross-band repeat APRS off of VHF onto the UHF side and use that for wherever I'm cross-band repeating at higher power?
Well, I wonder if you run into the cloning issue, signal degradation. So a digipeater receives the packet and then turns around and sends the packet out again fresh. It receives it, decodes it, re-encodes it, retransmits it. A repeater just repeats what it hears. And so there might be some signal degradation, some data degradation, but we're talking 1200 baud, so probably not. But
yeah,
there's numbers of hops and everything.
The hop count is where I would get. Doc, it will be next week. This week will be the show that this is not member Zoom, which should be Wednesday. But mine will be week after, Wednesday week. And thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Well, yeah, so my question was about the hop count. Would it dork something up? Would it go, hey, this came from VHF APRS? And it's got, I don't know. It
APRS doesn't care about the backhaul.
I wouldn't think so.
So it
There's
won't screw up
nothing
the
in there
hop
as far
count.
as I
So
knew.
just doing it like a regular repeater, you would not remove the hop count. You would not decrement the hop count by just analog repeating. But digital repeating always removes one hop and sends it on until there's no more hops to remove, and then it does what it's supposed to do. It shuts up. It's like BGP.
Right.
So if I had a 2-meter station that hit a 2-meter digipeater, which then also converted that to 10 meters, and then it went over 10 meters halfway across the country and came out as another, cross band 70 centimeter deal, blah, blah, blah. It would work as long as it didn't run out of repeat ability messages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, LC, that was kind of where my thought was on it. In networking, we'll have a transitional network. Like, this is the LAN that the people are on. This is the address for the router. But the router and the switch talk to each other on a completely different network that humans can't talk to because it's just for the gear to talk to. Yeah. And I was thinking you could use the UHF for the backhaul. You're sending APRS over it, right?
You could use like you could do it on the same frequency. You could still do it on 2 meters. So like adding crossband repeat may or may not benefit you. It depends on how far you're trying to send the repetition of the signal.
Mm-hmm. Bash Coder Reptiles, thank you for the $10 super chat. And I certainly appreciate it. Thank you. We try to be reasonably entertaining and reasonably informative and a little bit of salty old man and a lot of snark. And I think we do a good job, mostly. Jerry Bodie, thank you for the $4.99 super chat.
Thank you, Jerry.
Okay, Jody is on the job this morning. I mean, he's like a Canadian AI. He's so fast at looking this stuff up. Now, to be fair, I just pondered this, this morning at 7:15 for like 5 minutes. But Direwolf can be configured as a multi-port digipeater on 2 bands. Okay. So that's cool. That would be, oh man, this gets complicated. But I mean, you'd have to have a 2 meter setup and a 440 setup. And Direwolf is doing the crossband for you, so you don't really even need a crossband radio.
Well, it's not even a crossband thing. It's just Direwolf has the ability to remove one hop from the hop list and then send it out on 2 frequencies.
Okay. I'm not that nearly up that much on APRS, but I think it's an interesting idea.
The real question is, why does he need crossband? Why does he need to split the frequency? Why not just use 2 meter and then digipeat it? Repeat the message again one more time? Or, is there some benefit to using UHF other than because he wants to? And that's a valid reason.
Well, first of all, I want y'all to know that Jonathan just kind of phoned this question in. Which camera am I on? There we go. Because this is Jonathan's day right now. And that ain't Boston. Just saying.
On the lanai at the beach.
Yeah. Alcohol may or may not be a factor. So he said, is there a way to crossband repeat APRS? Was thinking down here, and he's in the British Virgin Islands. With the 500 in the car, I could keep the FT5 on me and hit the car, which would then hit my eye gate. So that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not enough of an APRS guru to know if there's a better way. But I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting thought.
Yep. Set it up, do it.
LC said you would not add a hop count. So at most it would hop one more time. All right. N0VTY said reasonable snark. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, Elodie, I don't know that we're giving advice. I think we're speculating and pondering on this at this point.
Yeah, it's a drinking game.
Yeah. An intellectual exercise, a thought experiment. And Jonathan might be overthinking it too. I don't know.
Yeah, Dave, the encoding is the same on every band. It's the speed that changes and the frequency that changes.
And Jody's talking about the filters on Direwolf. Yeah, because I have my iGate digipeater filtered down to turn off some random trash that just is nonstop.
Yeah, so think about it this way. APRS is AX25, and then everything else is just networking.
Mm-hmm. True.
So all the things that you can do with networking, you can do over radio.
All right, let's see. Arnold Grubbs is saying speed on 70 centimeters also removes the hidden transmitter problem on the backbone, so users would be 2 meters only.
Yeah, so the users wouldn't see, they wouldn't even know that there was a 70 centimeter backhaul.
Right, and that's what I was getting at with you're basically just creating a back-end backhaul is what we call it in the biz, a backhaul network.
Breaking the laws of APRS when you did that, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not a question that I can answer.
No,
about the laws.
Yeah. Dave is asking, are APRS signals identical in both bands?
Yeah.
I would assume so. I can't imagine they would have a different standard for the UHF
Well,
side.
like if you're on HF, you have a speed limit, but it's an HF imposed speed limit that you don't have on 2 meters. And then 70 centimeters, you can do even more speed because 70 centimeters is wider bandwidth than 2 meters.
Arnold's saying it worked well here in Nebraska. We had 3 2-meter digis, but with a 220 backbone that covered about 150 miles in 3 hops. Okay. So theoretically, this is something Jonathan could do. But he's saying he can't hit his iGate with his FT5, so he just wants to use his car as the retransmitter. Jeff, that's kind of what I originally thought. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if John's overthinking it because, like, this is what I had a Pico APRS, which I sold. Doc bought my Pico.
So if he sets up his 5 in the car on regular APRS, regular old-fashioned style APRS, his handy will be able to hit it from the bar, the car, and then the car with 50 watts will be able to hit the house, and the house will be able to hit the internet.
Yeah, so he doesn't actually need
so he
anything
doesn't
special.
like just turn the 5 on, put it into APRS mode, and move on with your life.
Yeah. I overthinking it. Okay, well, and I kind of did too, but you're right. There's no...
I mean, he might have a use case, or he might just want to be exploring the technology, but if he just wants to get the message from the bar to the internet, leave the radio in the truck running. And
right, he wants to post on APRS.fi, drinking now, hurry. Alcohol running low, or well, yeah, whatever.
Bring salty pretzels.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, T.O., I am looking forward to tomorrow night. If you guys have not, you need to post your questions for Nuggets tomorrow night because it'll be Q&A night where we will have another reasonably appropriate amount of snark and try and answer questions. I'm looking forward to Hef being on there and demoing his...
net control.
His net control program.
Ham Radio Hef will be the net control operator, and we just get to sit back and look pretty.
Which we do quite well. Quite well.
Practice.
Y'all, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to hit the button now. Say goodbye, Steve.
Goodbye, Steve.